Alright, we are back with another video, but so this video is going to be about drumline sticking. Um, but first, I want to talk about my latest video because it got a small copy strike, right? And none of my other parts of the One Piece series got copy struck. So just look at our details. Alright, hold on. I guess it's loading this segment. So apparently I played the wind orchestra version without permission. Which, there's a few things I can do. The main thing I can do is, I will dispute it though. Okay, so basically, okay. So I think that was when I was playing through the whole thing. Now I'm going to dispute it, because I was playing through the whole thing. So we're going to continue. First thing is fair use. So we're going to do fair use. This to me doesn't seem correct, because if you give credit to them, that's more than enough for this. Now, also, if it was people making the source if it was the actual source material, it would make sense if it would make sense if the source material if the people that made the original source material did reported it. However, it was not them that reported it. It was another arrangement of it that reported it, as far as I can see, if anyone knows. But basically, but also, if it was the original, if you don't know, Japan, which, my guess, so this is where the anime is based off of. The original song is in Japan, and then there was an English dub song for it, right? That I kept singing throughout the whole video, right? So, in Japan, there's no such thing as fair use. That's why I like Nintendo sued Power World, right? Because even though we have fair use, doesn't mean that they have that, which means that they have the right to take down videos and stuff like that. So hopefully that's what it is. Each use case is different. Types of reuse that may be okay. Yeah. What should it be? Educational video. And then I gotta type in something. my video is protected under fair use because I used the source material to teach viewers how to arrange music for marching band. I think that's pretty good. Note that I did not play any of the source material directly in my videos. Because in my video I specifically avoided that so I wouldn't get copy struck. I think that's good enough. So we're gonna go review. Yep. Understand the claimant will be able to review my video and my dispute rationale. Understand that filing fraudulent disputes may result in termination of my YouTube account. Okay, hopefully not, but whatever. And then submit. Okay, so if they don't actually look at the your dispute, then that's funny. If they don't look at your dispute, then you just don't then it gets lifted because they don't care. Alright. Anyways, so oh yeah, see, alright, look at my description for this video. I don't own the rights to this music and don't plan to make money off of it. And they're like, just because you do that doesn't mean that it's free from all that. Okay, anyways. Alright, we're gonna go away from that because we're just fine. I made an alt MuseScore account. I made a Smurf account on MuseScore. As funny as that sounds, and I'm gonna be doing something with that in the next video for a project. But for right now, what we're gonna do is we're going back to the One Piece thing. And we are going to, well, first of all, do parts. So, oh yeah, I forgot, that's how they do it here. Open all parts. And there we go, we can start with, and now when you save it, it doesn't save this individual one. Which is my pet peeve, because it did like a save as on this. And it was kind of weird. So as far as, there isn't really sticking for crash cymbals, but I do want to make sure this goes over the note. That to me is a little bit important. Okay, so, and then we can kind of follow the rules from before, but I'm not really worried about that right now. Alright, so we're gonna go snare drum. So first we gotta break down what this rhythm actually is. And I'd recommend putting a sticky, especially for snare drum and tenors, put a sticking in for every single note. it just makes it so much less confusing to read. Especially like, because I've been reading college music and some of those things are just god awful when it comes to sticking, right? Also, this font could be a little bit smaller, but again, we're not worried about that. So basically, when you do a rim shot, you kind of, on snare drum, you kind of want to do it on the right hand. That's most people's dominant hand on snare drum, and usually they're playing in traditional grip. If you don't know what that is, we'll go ahead and go ahead and pull it up. So it's okay. This guy is a perfect picture. So it's just like this. You hold it like that. The reason why you'd hold it like that is because snare drums used to be tilted, right? But now it's just a style thing, and people do it a lot in marching band and drum set. Concert snare drum, not so much, but even then, you still gotta know that the right is pretty much your dominant hand. Even though left is my dominant hand, when I'm playing any type of drum, my right is always going to turn into the dominant hand. So, how you put sticking in MuseScore is we're literally just gonna go to text, because there's no keyboard shortcut for it right now. Actually, I can change that. Right now, you can actually change your keyboard shortcuts. So let's fix that now. Just search for sticking. There we go. And then do option S. Alright, so now we get a keyboard shortcut for it, and then we don't have to go back. So basically, and I guess I would recommend that to you. I don't really care, it's personal preference. You can't do like Shift S because it's going to do staccato. So anything that doesn't conflict would be a good option. Anyways, so we're going to go that. And you kind of want to always have it below the notes. So start with the right, and if it's accented, here's another little tidbit. If it's accented, you're always going to put it as a capital letter, right? Alright, and then you press the space bar to get to the next note. So now we got a triplet, but it's got the rolls in it. It's a triplet roll. Perfect. So now you got to figure out, is this going to start on the left hand or the right hand? Well, if you start on the left hand, and you go left, right, left, and then you can go right. That's what I'm going to go with. And notice capital letters, lowercase letters. Make sure you really understand that concept that you're going to need. That's going to have that you need capital letters and lowercase letters in here. Now, if they're doubles, now sometimes people write it like this. They'll put in like a double right here. Not necessary. They can already assume that they're going to do a double there. That's one of the only things you really assume in that, in my opinion. Okay, now there's a couple different sticking options you could have for this, but you want to kind of follow the natural sticking principles, in my opinion. Natural sticking is basically, imagine you're playing 16 notes and you're going right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And then imagine, let's say you take out the E. So you go 1 and 2 and keeping the same momentum going. You want to keep so you want to keep the same momentum going. So you want to have right, right, left, right, right, left. Even though it might seem intuitive to go right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right. You're not starting on the right hand half as often as you would normally. So, which is why, and you can have double. I don't know why. I don't know what that just did. But what the heck is that? Okay, I don't know. So that is why I'm going to do right, left, and you could do right, right. I would just do right, left because it's easy. Now for this, I would recommend doing right, left, right, left, right, left. So, but the important thing is to get these capital letters in. And if you don't know, play it and see what makes sense and what doesn't. And if you can't play it, I don't really, it's hard to really say what, it's hard to really know what I can say, because I'm not saying you should know how to do the rolls, but at least try to do the rhythm and see, does this make sense? Right? For drumline, you always want to put in these stickings. It's so important. So I'm just kind of auto doing it right now while I'm talking. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Getting the capital letter. Okay. Okay, that works. Okay, now this measure is a little tricky. But imagine, there's two different ways you could do this. Actually, no. But I would recommend, this is just my recommendation. Now, if you really don't know, you can leave it with just the notes. But if you want to make sure that they're doing exactly what you want and they're all clean, quicker is the answer, because they can become pretty clean with this stuff. But how quickly they become clean is depending on how clear you are with what you want. So what I would do is I would do a flam tap. So right, left, right, right, left, and then right. So kind of like two flams in a row, alternate flams in a row. And then do what's called a Swiss Army triplet. And then you go on the right for that rim shot, right? So we'll keep going. I'll go all the way up until 14. And you just keep doing this for the whole time. Why it's moving up and down like that, I don't know. It's just how it works. This one I would recommend doing starting on the left, and then do right, left, or whoops. Yeah, once you figure out like kind of natural sticking rules and things like that, you will start to then realize. Also, if you do a flam, don't do this. I see this a lot too. If you do a flam, try not to do that. This whole thing, because it just makes it more confusing. Because basically all you need to indicate is what note is the main note and what's not the grace note. So. We'll go. I used to be afraid of putting kind of these accents and stuff during decrescendos, but I think it's perfectly fine now. It'll kind of add a little bit of a pop later. I'll do the whole thing actually. And then you can do right, left, right to do a left because they're not doing a rim shot for that. Now I think there's some spots where a rim shot actually might be better in the left hand, and you can definitely do it. But you just gotta be aware that less experienced people won't be able to do that rim shot consistently. So still going with these sticking principles. Yeah, we can do. Yeah, so you can go. Technically, you could do this. You could do left, right. Now this is assuming that I'm hard set on what thing I wanted in that measure as far as the notes are. Sometimes you're not so sure, but I'm pretty sure about this one. So we can do left, right, left, and that gets us out of that issue immediately. This measure is in here a lot. You can copy and paste. You know, as a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. Because it's in here a lot. And also, you don't want to put that in here a lot, but also, like, doesn't really matter. That's the same measure as this. See, so if you do that, your workflow is a little bit easier, a little bit faster. But I can do this pretty fast, because I just know it. Alright, so this is a point where you're gonna have to have them do a left rim shot. It's okay, it happens, you know. So we'll do, because I want to start on the right. At least at the beginning of the measure. You always want to do that. And I'll do left to do another right of the triplet roll. And then you can do right, because there's more time. Right. That would work. Now this is assuming that, again, you're completely happy with everything. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to say that I'm pretty happy with everything. So, that's the same measure as before. So we're going to go ahead and do that. This one, you can do a couple of things. I would recommend doing this. Right, left, right, right. Instead of doing right, left, it just feels kind of clunky to do. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. That seems like a more important accent, so I'm thinking what I can do this time is do right, right, and then do left. So it's a little bit inconsistent, but to me it's okay, because if you're working with the drumline, they're going to work this out, in my opinion. And they're going to have to work this out anyways, so. Work smarter, not harder. Put that in. Okay, that's one of the issues. So it does take out some of your dynamics, which is kind of weird. Okay, and then you go right, left, right, left, right. Doesn't matter what diddles are in there. It's just you do it, and they don't complain. Mostly. Alright, so then we go here. Right, left, left, right. Hopefully that makes sense. Kaplum, 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 ska. It's really cool. Kaplum, ska. And that's literally the same measure. I remember that from the last time. Okay, whenever you're doing these rhythms, you want to do right, left, left. Every time. Right, left, left, right. Left, and see, it's unavoidable in some cases, so that was unavoidable. And basically what I'm going to do here, do that, copy and paste this measure, but then just take out that note. Okay. So technically it will work. Because there's 4 here, so it's going to go right starting here, left starting here, right starting here, left starting here, and then you end back up on the right. And then you can do left and then a right. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, whoops. I'm going to make it capital letters so we know. Right, left, right, left. Now, the funny thing about this is that literally these 8 measures are just copy and pasted. So I copy and paste it except for the sticking. The fact that it's on that page is kind of weird. I would probably try to put it on one page. I'd probably make it landscape, actually, now that I think about it, but we got there's always room for you. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right. Oops. I do that a lot by accident. Be consistent. Make that a summary triplet as well, because we did it before when it was kind of a similar rhythm. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. Oops. See, I do that all the time, but You got to be very particular about what you want. Alright, let's do measures. Right, left, right, left. We're going to do right, left, left, right, left, left. It's just much better that way. Left, right, left, right, left, right. And there we go. I'm not going to play it for you because I already did that last video, and I also got copy struck for it. It's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. Alright, so that's how you do sticking. Alright, that's your little guide on sticking, and I don't think this is in Time to New Roman either. No, it is. Never mind. So make sure to put in Time to New Roman, and that's pretty much it for snare drum now. Tenors. Not only do you have to worry about those sticking rules, but you also have to worry about the drums, about the different drums you're on. So, because there's some things that are not possible unless you do a crossover, and if you want a crossover, you got to notate it. So let's just dive right in. So, immediately, since we're going to be like, okay, start a rim shot on the right with the Spock right here. And I was already thinking of the sticking when I wrote this part. So it wasn't like, and a lot of the times when you write for tenors, you're going to have to modify it a lot before it has a sticking that makes sense. Because the one mistake that I see a lot of people do, and it's not just newer people to it, but it's people that have been doing it for years and just make more money than I do, but it's something that annoys tenor players a lot, is that they do it based on the pitches of the drums rather than just the practicality of the drums. So they want to go ba-da-dum bum bum bum. If you want to do that, there's bass drums. There are things you can do with that, right? So don't always rely on the pitch of the drums to help you out, to help out your writing. Alright, so we're going to do left, right, left. Do right. And then if you have a double stop, you're going to put both, or B for both. For this, what I wanted to do was left, left. Up, up, and that just makes it easier because you, instead of going right, left, it's just a little bit easier. You just go straight to there, right? And then with flams, usually, okay, here's something that I didn't mention for tenors, because I was kind of doing them doing it as the last thing for the One Piece series. But make sure for tenors, you try not to put flams on the same drum as the main note. It's cooler when it's not. So yeah, that's something you want to do. Right, left, right, right, left, right. And I already did this with the intention of the sticking. Alright, so this right here, now you gotta know, be a tenor player, but let's see if I can find a video real quick. To show you marching tenors sweeps. Yeah, we'll show an EMC video real quick. So basically what he's doing here during these little 16th note parts is he's going and he's playing a double stroke, so playing 2 notes on one hand, but on 2 different drums. So he's going ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, right? And the reason for that is just because it's cool. So you can do a double stroke with that. Now, I think the snare drum in my thing does that too. So basically you want to make sure that things kind of make sense as far as the sweep department goes. So I'm going to do right, which is going to be bottom, right, with the same hand. And then it's going to go here because both drums 2 and drums 4 are adjacent to each other. And then put a rim shot on drum 4 left hand, but we're not too worried about it. And then I'll just boom, and just fill in the blank. Now this is again assuming that you are very happy with your tenor part. Now I'm kind of doing this stuff just off rip, and I'm kind of doing these arrangements off rip, not really trying to get too many places with it, just trying to educate and, you know, just keep practicing this. So I might as well educate while I practice this, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, there's a duplicate dynamic in here. Let's go ahead and take that out. So this is the same measure as this. This is the same measure as this. Now I'm not telling you right or wrong on how to do this, but yeah. You might want to add a little bit more variety, but honestly you don't need to, because for these people trying to memorize this, it's hard enough to just memorize it anyways, memorize fourth note anyways, let alone trying to remember stuff that doesn't have too many like repeated stuff in it. So for here I would do right, left, and they're just going to buzz each of them. We're still going to notate that as both bump bump, but it's going to be a crossed bump bump. That's going to be a right left. I mean a right right. There's going to be a left, and this is like your basic, what's called an outward sweep, where it goes out away from your body towards the next drum, whereas an inward sweep is not the slur, but but you would start from drum 1 and then you'd go to drum 2, and you'd go to the inside, also known as an inward sweep. Right, both. Now you might be thinking, does it really make sense to put both? Because you don't really, because you can kind of guess based on that, and you only have 2 hands. Maybe not, but I always put as much sticking as possible, so we're still cooking. We're still cooking here. Okay. Both. I'm just kind of doing this just in case in case there's something I didn't mention, then I can just mention right quick. I'm reusing the same sweep, so if they learn this little sweep pattern, They're not gonna have to learn another one again, right? This is for like an advanced high school group probably would probably play this. Except they wouldn't be playing this piece. They'd probably be playing something dumb like DCI related, right? And I can talk about that for hours, but we don't have time for that, so we're just gonna go ahead. Left, right, left. Okay, so when it gets to the quote verse, right? Right, left. And if these things don't make sense, try to visualize what it's like playing on these drums first, and then come back and see if these things really do make sense. Because some of this, like, it feels like I'm just being like, you gotta know. Not exactly. I'm just trying to be like, you kind of just gotta figure out what works and what doesn't. This is going to be a sweep. Because, I mean, I guess you could do right, left, right, left, right. That's kind of dumb. That's kind of weird in my opinion. I think it's more beneficial to find another way to work on sweeps in here, because sweeps are pretty hard, especially if you're first starting out with them. But, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. No, that's not supposed to be a right. There's sometimes where you want to do the right if you're like really ending on it, but because I remember doing that for an arrangement for a high school marching band that I performed in. But yeah, triple, yeah. So this is the same pattern as before. So you just do that. We're not going to reinvent the wheel again. And now I've seen this measure so many times, almost too many times, but we're just going to say we're happy with it and move on. But we're just going to do a bunch of copy and paste. What I'm going to do here is I'm quite literally just going to go do this. Might be lazy, but it's there's value to it. And again, cross over the little half note thing is the hand that's on top. Some people have different ways of thinking about it. Some people think that that's the hand on bottom. No, to me it's the hand on top, and that's usually the way I've seen it. Left. We'll do left, both, right, right, left, left, right, left. Which is kind of a pattern I usually try to avoid, but in this case I'll allow it. Okay, this is the same thing. Both. Let's copy and paste that measure. We can do right, left, left. The Spock shots are a lot easier to do than the regular shots, in my opinion. Or, I don't know. I feel like tenor shots are actually a little bit easier, in my opinion. But, don't take my word for that one, because some people have different opinions on it. Now for this, since I said right, left, left, you want to do that. Not for 10 minutes. You kind of want to have it make more sense of the drums rather than just the regular sticking. But if it's all you have to worry about is sticking for snare drum, then that's what you should do, in my opinion. Actually, this actually works. Did it? No. It actually doesn't. Because it's so much travel time to go from drum 1 to drum 4. Triplet 4. Accent. Looks like I copy and pasted that there. Okay, we can do right, left, right, left, right, left. I'll fix that capital in a second. There we go, that's better. Right. Both. Oops. Couple. And this is literally the same measure before. I could have copied and pasted, but which actually that first 8 measures, or that whatever it is. All the way up until here. And it looks like those measures are the same. Okay, so I think what this is right. Now I'd recommend having like a tenor pad or some type of mock setup to try this on. Don't try to do it in your head like I'm doing. I just have a decent amount of experience with it. So make sure make sure you're in a position where you're making as little mistakes as possible. And don't be like me. Left, right. There's no thing to go back. Okay. Right. No, not right. It is left. And then we'll finally get a bass drum. And that'll be the end of the video. We're already about an hour in. But that's okay. Right, 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 left, left, right, right. Double rim shots. Both. Cool. So that's basically tenor sticking in a nutshell. If you have any questions, just and for snare drum, if you have any questions, just leave a comment. But yeah. Alright, so bass drum. So, one thing I need to tell you about splits. So splits, so for this example I did it for 4 bass drums. You can do it for 5. You could do it, usually with bass drums, you kind of want to have at least a 4-person setup, but it also depends on your group that you're doing it for. If you know the group that you're doing it for, it's a lot easier because then you're just like, oh, I only have to do 3 bass drums, or I have to do 4 bass drums, or 5 or 6, right? Most high schools aren't going to have 6 bass drums, but 5 bass drums is the best is probably the best number, but I just came up with 4. I just did 4 just because. Now, you do not need to notate the actual split parts. They'll figure that out, and there's no confusion. But when there's a whole line playing with these unison hits, you want to make sure they're all in the same hand. So basically, we skip all this stuff, right? We don't need to put that because they can have it as whatever they want. They can honestly have it as whatever they want, right? If they want to do right, left, right, and then right, the next one, because the next one is there, they can do that. They're allowed to. It's just gonna be low-key weird, but whoops. So there's gonna be a lot less sticking in here. Only when there's unison hits, put sticking. That's just my rule of thumb. And you kind of want to have as much like right hand dominance as possible, because when you're looking at a marching bass drum, you're looking at well, it obviously depends, but let's use this terrible example, right? So basically this is mostly how your bass drum is gonna face. Your right hand is gonna be facing the audience, right? So they're sideways and they march in a different direction than others just to stay in line with each other. It's a whole thing. But basically, you want it to be dominant there because you want it to be mainly right hand dominant, because the right hand part is what the audience can hear more on the home side, right? It's hard just because the other head. It's the main reason is the other head is on the other side, so you can't really. So it's just the sound's not directly going towards the audience, right? And usually when you play bass drum, you have to play really loud. Most of the time, you're playing super loud for bass drum. But yeah, except for on the rim shots. Now, a lot of people would do this. They would put an accent on the rim clicks that just destroys your rims. So, I don't know why I skipped those. It honestly does destroy them. Even if you have the rim click savers, don't do it. It's just being slow. Right. Bum, 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 bum. We'll do right. And let's make sure they're all on the same page when it comes to playing together. Now, with like tenors and snare drum, they're always playing together. So it's nothing to really worry about. Do left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, 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 left, right, right, left, right, If anyone in the comments can guess how many times I say the words right and the word right and the word left, can pick a video idea for me, and I'll do it, no matter what it is, as long as it falls in terms of service. I honestly could just copy and paste, but I just don't feel like it, which is kind of reverse laziness, but I'm gonna put that on. So I'm putting this coordinate right here on the left hand so that it's a little bit less strong. You know what I mean? Right, right, right. Alright, my computer's being a little bit slow with it. That's okay. This feels like it's taking forever. I kind of wanted to keep it a little bit shorter, a little under an hour, but we're gonna go ahead and finish this up. If I do another marching band arrangement, I'm not gonna go through this whole process again, because it's just for educational purposes. But yeah. Right, left, right, left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right. It takes so much longer. Alright, we're copy and pasting. Screw this. This arguably might take a little bit longer, but I don't think it does. Paste. I'll just add it in. Oops. There we go. Now, while the other videos were known as like kind of just something where it's my process, if you learn something from it, that's fine, whatever. This is kind of more framed to be a guide, in my opinion. And I always keep saying, in my opinion, it's like this, right? And I do have strong opinions about a lot of this stuff. Trust me. When it really doesn't matter for some people. But And there we go. One more thing that I'll talk about really quickly before we end the video is with cymbals. What you can do sometimes is you can split up your parts. You can split up the parts. Now, in my opinion, just writing out the splits is not the greatest idea. What you want to do is you want to do a staff, and I'm not going to demonstrate right now, but you're going to do a staff, and then you just do a super high note for the top one, super low note for the lowest one, and just like evenly distribute it depending on how many cymbals you want to split. If you're only two, a lot of marching bands nowadays don't even have cymbals, so that's also another thing that you want to take into consideration. Maybe I'll do stuff with like dealing with front ensemble, but this time I didn't want to do that. This time I didn't feel like doing that. I felt like just doing a straight up marching band, winds and percussion, winds and marching percussion. That's it. Right. I could have done it. I could have done pit and stuff too, but it would have taken a lot more time to finish the series. So, but if you want to see that, I can hook you up with that. But yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm starting to work pretty hard on all this stuff. Try to teach people how to do some of the stuff with arranging. Some of it's not having to do with real arranging. Some of it's having to do with just how to navigate music score, stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. We can keep talking about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you in the next video.